Honorable Job Scala. Every Tuesday we meet to reflect on developments in the country as a leadership, to look at the second September 2019 at Faro Stadium here in Harare. This was a national event to commemorate and celebrate 2 decades of existence under our theme celebrating courage, growth, and the people's victory. It's clear that this day has now been on account of deliberations by the leadership and on a unanimous position by our nation as a gesture of not just nation building, but also making sure that we respect our principles of Ubuntu. As you know, we are MDC, a part of excellence. We do things that are consistent with our values of social democracy, values of Ubuntu, solidarity, and empathy. And we have decided to postpone this important anniversary to the 28th of September 2019, so as to allow the funeral proceedings and events not to compete with our anniversary celebrations. In fact, it is in line with our values of Ubuntu, solidarity, and empathetic leadership that you don't celebrate when your others are mourning. It is just an African, Mr. Mugabe. Time for us to be in solidarity with the family and relatives of Mr. Mugabe as they mourn, together with friends, including colleagues who are on the African continent, who are going to be coming to be with us. The MDC does not want to use Mugabe's death to score political points. We have avenues and platforms that are sufficient to address our huge challenges we are facing as an engagement, and not at Mugabe's funeral. As a social democratic party, we don't take our differences with our political competitors or adversaries to the grave and beyond death. Hate and hatred is not part of our agenda, and therefore the passing on of the former president, Robert Mugabe, should be a reminder to the leaders of today, tomorrow, and the future on how we must treat each other in Zimbabwe. The position we take today is not to wish away issues of justice, but to do with the issues of transitional justice, which we hope would have an appropriate time to reflect on. We as MDC would want to exhibit our role in making sure that we build our nation, we heal our nation, we unite our people, and we bring freedom and justice to every Zimbabwean who feels deprived of the same. This, for us, is an opportunity to reflect on the values of nation building, democracy, justice, tolerance, equality, freedom, and solidarity that are cut now in our democratic struggle. That, ladies and gentlemen, defines who we are as a society of the people. We believe in solidarity, an injury to one, an injury to all. Indeed, an injury to those who feel bereaved because they've lost their loved one is also an injury to us. And of course, it is in that context that we have made the decisions that we have so made as a leadership. I want to thank you. May God bless you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for the statement you delivered. If there are any members of the press who have got questions to ask and who want to seek clarifications, now is your time. Those who have got questions or clarifications.
And questions, not bones to chew?
Sure.
Just questions.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to find out, is the MDC going to attend the funeral of the former president?
Okay.
Over to you, Excellency.
Thank you very much. Who asked the question?
My name is Tendai.
Oh, thank you, Tendai. Yes. Now, leadership is such that we must exercising leadership in every aspect. And we've said Africanness and the humility and honor that has to be bestowed on development of this nature. I understand there are heads of state that are going to become. It's only necessary for some of us. This is not the opportunity to settle for even with Mr. Mnangagwa, whom we disagree with, because we are chalk and cheese. You know, we are night and day, but this is not the opportunity to define our differences. This is our opportunity to find common points of doing what is expected in our African tradition. To mourn the dead and to give them the dignity and honor, and as much as we have all those differences.
Thank you very much. Another question? If there is anybody who wants to ask a question? Yes, sir.
Okay. To ask if Zanu-PF, how will you feel?
Your Excellency.
I'll feel very good because I'm not the first one to be blocked. That would be unfortunate. That will show you what we have not learned. Let Mr. Mugabe be a good teacher. He was a teacher in his life. Let him also be a good teacher even when he's not as a viable form and model. This development in the context of nation building. We are not there to score points, but show ourselves to be, more monarchs than the others, or more people who are believing than the others. This is an event to give honor to Mr. Mugabe. It's only necessary that we do that. Mind you, we say that he contributed positively and negatively. And let's be objective about the contributions. We will not emphasize the negative, but the opportunity to do so is with us, so that we are able to build on the negatives. We're able to then correct the mistakes, right the wrongs, and also negate the negatives that we have seen. It's all of that, and we have the duty as people, as citizens, together to be able to move forward. So don't worry about this regalia. It's more important to mourn than to be putting on regalia. That's the most important thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. My name is Leo from newsmap.com. What is your message to those MDC supporters who lost relatives and friends to Robert Mugabe, who feel that the MDC leadership is being so the former president Robert Mugabe?
Do we look like we are foolish to want to revenge and focus on a dead Mugabe? We had opportunity to engage Mugabe when he was still alive, and we differed with him. We fought so hard, and we continue to fight so hard. As to our supporters and those, I'm one of them. All of us around the table, they have stories to tell. But we've said bitterness will not move nations forward. Revenge and anger cannot be pillars of building a society. We want to be better, and other than to learn from our mistakes so that we don't have a recurrence of those mistakes that have been made and of those transgressions that have been and those who have suffered at the hands of the past. But because we've suffered, we can't then continue to also drink from that cup of bitterness. Because the cup of bitterness will get the entire nation dry and will not move together and forward as hand.
Yes, sir.
Constant come from newsmap.com. It's more likely a follow-up from what he asked. Mugabe has gone and has left a very ugly past, and some of the issues that you have been raising in political gathering and political platforms, like Gukura Wundi, you have always tried to persuade him to apologize at least. Now, who is going to take responsibility, in your view, for that ugly past? Now he has gone and nothing has been settled.
Yes, Mugabe is gone, but Zimbabwe is not gone. We have Zimbabwe, we are Zimbabwe. We need to be able to build our country together. Go to how do we correct the injustices of the past? We can't just gloss over issues. We need to have a frank discourse. We need to have truth and justice. We need to
have proper, all of us together, to put the things on the table and to say, how do we heal our past wounds? Future wounds are not going to be cared on account of omissions or commissions by any of them. That's why I said there are lessons to be learned. And that's why I've said Mr. Mugabe is a teacher, both in life and in death, and we must be able to learn a lot of lessons about how to build a nation, how to progress a nation, and how to prosper a nation. And this is our opportunity to move forward. You were supposed to be very hard. But why should you be hard on a man who is not there?
Yes, I think Mr. Mugabe.
Well, it's a family decision, and I'm sure where is buried is their own, because we are Africans. Ultimately, the family takes precedence. Of course, in our dispensation, there are a lot of things that will have not be given. So for now, it is the family, and we give. It is with the family as they know.
Yes, sir.
My name is Vijay. Considering the role that the MDC played in the ouster of Mugabe in 2017, what is it that you...
Just after the ouster, maybe they will be celebrated. But if you look and check around, it's an important lesson that we have to reflect on. It's clear that those in authority have learned nothing and forgotten about the past vices and transgressions. That is dawned on all of us in Zimbabwe. And we now have to have a sober reflection to say, apart from just changing individuals and faces, we need fundamental change structurally, we need fundamental transformation. And that's the debate amongst the people. Because Mr. Mnangagwa is clearly showing that he seems to have learned nothing and forgotten nothing about the past omissions and commissions. And that is the debate we must have as we go forward, particularly in the context of making sure that we democratize our country and we return to legitimacy and democracy. That is why we want national dialogue to resolve those issues. But I don't want to clutter issues. This is not the platform. The platform is to give Mr. Mugabe a decent send-off, a peaceful send-off, because Africanhood, Ubuntuhood, is dictating to us to do so as a social democratic party.
My very last brother, you were raising your hand, the very last person. Yes, my brother in the white shirt. The one behind the... Well, it's you. Okay, no, I was mistaken.
Well, just as a follow-up, Mr. President, to the issue of the Hero Saga, out of interest, would they should be buried at the Hero Saga?
Well, we have a lot of interest, but you don't have to know too much, you know. It's very good to have interest, but look, let's wait. It's important for us to be looking at a number of objective considerations. It's also the gesture from our colleagues in Zanu-PF. We don't want any political party to be monopolized, something that sends signal, and we will respond accordingly. That we are the leading party in this country, where Mr. Mugabe last resided in, is under the MDC. Mr. Mnangagwa, who resides in Harare, is under the MDC. All the people in government, most so they are we must give them honor. Tenants must be respected and must be given the honor that is due to them. And we will continue to respect those tenants. We are the MDC, we are the city fathers and mothers in this jurisdiction. And we honor everyone, including our colleagues in Zanu-PF, in everything we do. It takes two to tango, and let's tango as we give honor to Mr. Mugabe for his contributions.
Mugabe